Hi there, I'm Kylie Mowbray-Allen from Hello Media.
And I'm Jenni Walk from Elephant in the Room Consulting, and you're tuning into Bite-Sized Business Live Podcast, the show that helps business owners get clarity and insight to grow their dream business.
Whether you're launching, ready to scale, or figuring out what's next, we discuss the nitty-gritty, the hard bits, the opportunities, and the behind the scenes, and share how we've grown our own companies and helped others do the same.
We're glad you're here. Hello Media, and you're tuning into Bite-Sized Business Live Podcast, the show that helps business owners create and build their dream business. How are you today, Kylie?
Great, thanks, Jenni. I'm thinking about my dream business right now and how I love the word dream business. So great intro there. How are you doing, and what part of the world are you in today?
So today I'm in Huskisson, which is about mid-south coast of New South Wales, just above, about an hour and a half north of Bateman's Bay. So I've just finished a cultural workshop here today with a really cool group of people. I did some weaving this morning, but
nice
weaving, which was kind of cool, with some reeds to show us how they used to make fishing lines and nets and things. And yeah, so I've had a really beautiful day out here on country.
Nice, Jenni. So good.
It's a lot of fun. It's when you love the place, when you get to kind of work and play on incredible country and get paid to share and have conversations with people, you know you're in the right job. I feel like 100% I'm in my dream business today.
Oh, and what country are you on right now?
Oh, well, that's a little bit of there's a whole range. It's part of the UN nation. Anyway, it's down South Coast. So it's part of the UN nation, which is one of the larger nations of Aboriginal communities around here.
Wonderful. Great. So tell me what's feeling dreamy about your business today, aside from the fact that you get to play and do fun things and travel around.
I saw this really great post actually and I did actually sometimes do check my Facebook and Instagram. And I had a look and saw this great post that said, you're in your dream business when you don't feel like you need to take a holiday. And I woke up this morning, and it's where Huskisson is just on the Jervis Bay. So I woke up to a sunrise over the water, went for kind of a walk up to the river, up to the kind of mouth of the ocean that comes into the creek, and thought, this is a job where you get to travel to amazing places, hang out with cool people and just listen and learn and share knowledge. And I thought, what could not be the perfect business about that? I'm effectively on holiday, but I get to also work. Only I don't have my family with me, but that's the side point. But, it's a great opportunity to just be able to live and work everywhere, that kind of digital nomad model that I used to look at and go, I don't think I'll ever do that. And I realized today that that's essentially what I'm doing, except my digital model includes real people.
And you know that the missing of the family, but that's a good thing too, because then you get to actually miss them and come back to them. And there's something really special about that.
Yeah, I think so. But what I'm actually also finding is that I'm exploring places without any kind of intention or expectation. So I'm finding all these really amazing little places that I probably would never have traveled to with my family intentionally. And now we're talking about, oh my gosh, when I did this trip, we found this gorgeous little B&B, or we need to go and visit this place because it's like I did that when I went to Gerringong a couple of months ago, which is the north side of Nowra. And it's a beautiful little inlet town, as the same here in Huskisson on Jervis Bay. And I think you get to explore places that you wouldn't go intentionally. And then you go, actually, I need to take my family back there so we can experience it together. And that's what I'm really excited about.
Really nice. How good's that?
It's pretty good. How about you? What's dream about your business today?
Because today I've had two really cool things happen. The first was an email from a client that said, just wanted to let you know, well, actually, they finished their program. It went on even longer, and then we stopped working together. And they sent me this email saying, we just want you to know that we implemented all the things that we've worked on with you. And we've just had some fantastic success with the last launch and the last program. So now everything you taught us for that, we're now going to transform all our other offerings in the exact same way that you told us to or taught us to do. And just wanted to say, we can't wait till we work with you again. And that was just fantastic. I loved that. And then, so that was like from a past client, a lovely feedback. And then today from a new client, I got this great feedback. And it started off something like, I feel so cranky. I'm really, really cranky because what you have taught me in one session I feel like I've just spent thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars over many, many years with people not telling me the things that I needed to know. And now I can do this, and I can make my website faster, and I can do this, this, and this, just like that. So she said, I'm so excited about what's to come. And so that felt really good too.
That's amazing feedback, but it also shows you the power of really good coaching and the incredible coaching that you do. It's not just about something it's a quick fix or a Band-Aid. It's actually about developing really strong systems and processes so you can have that long-term success. And that's such a beautiful feedback and recognition of the awesome work you do, right?
Totally. And so then with the client that I've just been on just now, and so we were talking about her creating her superpower statement. And so I was talking her through mine and saying, when we actually look at our why and our what and our who and all those kinds of things, then, and I was giving examples about mine, and I said, and I just feel like it just lights me up when I make someone say, you just changed everything, and like that, and it just is like, yay. So that I said, so that's not about trying to earn a multi-zillion dollar whatever so I can have a house in the south of France and a blah, blah, blah. It's literally just so I get great feedback. That's what makes me go, yes.
It's creating impact, right?
That's my dream business. There you go. So
100%. And it's so cool that you're talking about dream business, because it really aligns with our conversation today and topic today, which we're talking about kind of 3 keys to being a successful entrepreneur and having that dream business, which is essentially you're an entrepreneur because you want to create a lifestyle and a dream and bring that to life. That's really why you get into entrepreneurship, I think. Anyway, that's my definition of someone who's looking for that kind of flexibility and joy and loves the kind of development and the build of something cool. So, having a dream business and understanding what that looks like for you is so critical to success of any business, but particularly if you're coming into that entrepreneurship space.
It totally is. And coming up with what it's all about for you, I just was saying with that client there, when I was trying to ask her about her why, and I said, I doubt it's because you wanted to earn a hell of a lot of money. Most of us are doing it because we want to be in charge of our destiny. We want to be in charge of the when, the why, the what, the how, etc. But mostly it's because of what makes us feel good about what we do. So yeah, I think there's many reasons, but I imagine for a lot of us that the behind the scenes is that it makes us feel good.
And I think 100%. I mean, definitely the people that we spend time with and hang out with and are in our circles are all people who are aligned with that. And I think it comes back to that first point, or that first key, is about the importance of defining that vision of what you're looking for and why that's so important. We often forget about that why and why we want to see what that vision or what that future state looks like. And there's lots of discussions around what a vision is, but for me, it's what is the future state that you're aiming for? What is that kind of, holy grail, if you like, from being in business? If it's to create impact, well, what does that mean to you? Being really clear and specific about what your vision for your business is something that most people don't do until they're well into their business journey. And it's one of the things that I know you do and that I do for very early in our clients. And even when I'm doing strategic coaching or I'm doing my strategy development, I always ask them, what's the end state? What is the vision? What's the purpose of being in this room? And I think when you understand that early, it allows you then to be focused on what you're trying to do. So everything falls from that vision. It gives you focus. It gives you an opportunity to make your strategic direction or decisions from that vision. But it also then has that motivating and inspiring element to it as well, right? So we start off with, this is what I'm doing. This is my kind of North Star, if you like to use Jim Collins or other language. Therefore I can make my decisions based on that vision. And then it becomes that motivating piece for your team and for yourself on that journey.
Absolutely. But I had a little laugh. I've been rewriting our welcome packs for our team as they onboard. And one of it about our vision for the Hello Media vision, one of the first lines is all about creating a business with ease. I laughed and I thought, the last few months hasn't been very easy. So I'm sure those new people that have started with us recently, the new team members will be like, what? So I think that it's really important for me to remember at that moment, that's my vision for my dream business. That's not necessarily the vision happening right now.
I love that you
aiming for it.
I love that you shared that but if you think about what you were doing there, your vision is to have a business with ease, and you're rewriting your welcome packs to help that transition of new staff members so that it does become easy. So by definition, it's doing those things. It's providing you focus of the activities you need to do. It's helping you make a strategic decision, which is ensuring your onboarding of your team is seamless and allows them to understand the business. And it provides a source of motivation, inspiration for those people. So in fact, creating a business with ease is actually what you're doing simply by doing an onboarding pack for team members, and having that connection and being able to create that link shows the value of having a really clear vision.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that you did right. And also what's so cool about having that set up for the onboarding process is that this morning, for example, I just wanted to do some reminders of a few points. So I was able to say, if you all refer to your welcome pack, then look at page 3, blah, 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 blah. Just a reminder about that, maybe it was to do with how to take leave or whatever it was. But having that process set up is so important. So what do you think, Jenni, for your vision? What would be the first thing that you would say for Elephant in the Room Consulting? What would we be defining your vision there?
Our vision is pretty simple. It is literally just to create impact in everything that we do. It's a very simple vision for us, because our goal in our activities is to create an impact in both in our lives, in the lives of my incredible team, or our incredible team, but also in the lives of the clients that we work in. And so through the creation of the work that we do, whether it's the cultural awareness training, whether it's building reconciliation action plans, or coaching small businesses on creating their structure, each of those is about creating impact in the lives of my clients. And so every activity that we do has that outcome. And in fact, recently I've been looking at some of the things that we were looking to start doing, some of the new products that we were looking to implement, and it made me kind of think, is this going to create the impact that I want, or is this going to create an impact for somebody, or does it just become a quick sell or a quick cash money, cash grab, which sometimes you need to do. But it makes me stop and ask that question. Is this going to have an impact on the client, on the person? Is it going to help our business grow? And if it doesn't do one of those two things, we just don't do it. And so I think by having that really clear and simple vision for us, it gives, or at least it provides those guiding direction for us, definitely.
I think even you just saying the guiding direction, I think that's such a great couple of words, but your vision is so perfect, because everything that you said after that, I was like, yes, that, and, since the day I met you and met your business too, all of that, you do create impact in anyone that you meet and anyone that you talk to. It's extraordinary what you offer. And I love that too, that it's short and it's succinct, but then you can expand on it in any way that you need to for any situation, which is great. So mine is around that visibility piece so that people can attract. So, I'm a big believer in client attraction marketing, rather than the running out there and looking for sales everywhere. You actually put it out and attract them to you. So I can expand on that so much. But really at the crux of it, it's that if you're not putting yourself out there, no matter how awesome you are, nobody will know that you even exist. So you have to get visible online, because without visibility, do you even have a business?
I completely agree. And what you were just saying there, what came to mind for me, and I'm going to share it with you, is that your vision is to create a magnetic business.
Ah, nice.
And that to me is what resonates with me when I think of Hello Media and your team and what you do for your clients. Is that's exactly what you're doing. You're creating this business yourself that's magnetic, because you're so magnetic and you attract these incredible clients who really want to work with you. And then by virtue of working with you and following your strategies, like you said, for your other clients, they're able to attract people and the right people to their business to grow their business. So to me, that fits so perfectly with the work that you do.
I love it. I've just had to type that in while you were saying that. I have my interviews this week for Entrepreneurial Awards. I didn't know that there was an interview process. So I was like, ooh. And so today I attended, there was about 250 people in the Zoom room, all about preparing you for your interviews.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, and you've got something like 8 minutes, 4 questions, like it's pretty intense. And but what they were saying was the importance of being really succinct, being really knowing your business. And so our topic today being around your vision, I just thought basically that's what it's about. So I just think I love that we're talking about this, because so many people are not really sure. I hear it where they say, I'm in business to help people, or I'm in business to, whatever it is. But generally speaking, we're all in business to help people, aren't we? Or to
well, you don't have a business if you don't have a customer. It's famous quote from a strategist whose name escapes me right now, but I'll remember it later. Talks about the fact that if you don't have a customers, you don't have businesses. So your whole business is about your customer, because you need to be actually selling to somebody, right?
Exactly.
I think what we do, though, we think of this vision piece, and we talk about 3 keys for successful entrepreneurship. Vision is the first piece, but then it's actually the piece that you and I have just talked about, which is creating that and aligning your objectives to that vision. So I think this goes to that piece about making strategic decisions around your business. But once you actually start creating objectives and plans and strategies that align with the vision, it actually gives you real clarity and alignment, but also flexibility to play with what you're doing. But you get to actually identify the lanes you want to play in. So for us, my objectives of the business is to grow our consulting business, to grow awareness around First Nations engagement, which is going to provide impact on both sides of that discussion, but also around small businesses and helping them get clarity around what they do and how they operate, so that then they can create impact. And if our objectives of our business, whether they're internal in terms of size of growth or the way that we operate, or even our product structures, they have to align with those visions and those objectives. And so you have to cascade it down. And I think that's where people go wrong. They pay consultants or they pay coaches a lot of money to create this vision, but there isn't a connection with that vision to what they do on a day-to-day basis. And if you don't have that, then it just becomes a tagline. It's a marketing effort. It's just something it's an external piece of communications. And for a business to be really successful, I think aligning your objectives of your day-to-day activities to that vision, cascading that down, means that you can be really, and my favorite word from Robin Sharma, monomaniacally focused on what you need to do, right? Real clarity around, this is what I do. I don't play in that space. I play over here. And I think when we start to get businesses be like, oh, I can be, jack of all trades or Jill of all trades to everything, people start to question what you're trying to actually achieve. And that's when you get cloudiness around your offerings or your pricing or whatever it is. But if you can be really clear and have a very strong vision with aligned objectives, you're 2/3 on your way to having great and long-term success, I think.
I totally agree. And I was on a Zoom with a client the other day talking about their whole strategy. And then out of the blue, he just said, right, so let's talk about getting started on TikTok. And I just literally just said, I don't do that. I don't TikTok, and I'm not going to TikTok. If you want to go on TikTok, you can TikTok somewhere else. and it was great, because I was very clear on, I didn't suddenly go, oh, maybe one of my team might want to work with them on TikTok. It's like, no, Hello Media does not TikTok. And then today, when we jumped on the Zoom call and we were talking about threads, and then you were like, yeah, but I don't Twitter or tweet. And I was like, me neither. Absolutely not. But threads, jump on it while you can, because it's so fun right now while there's no noise going on with all the other stuff that they always bring in when they're ready to monetize it.
Very true.
So it's fun. So I think you're so right about, what is your business strategy? What are your goals? How do you make that all fit in together? And being really, really clear and hard-nosed if you need to be. Hard-lined. Boom. I don't do that. I'm not going to do that.
But that also then aligns with your goals. So the third one is that goal alignment. And you just said it, your vision at the top, your clear objectives about what you want to do align to those vision, and then the goals that actually then underpin everything. They have to match up. And if your goal is to go on TikTok, tell me how that aligns with your vision. If it doesn't, and if it doesn't align with your vision and your objectives for your business, then you don't do it. And if you do it, then it does exactly what you say, is become noise, and it becomes a distraction. And so many people get caught up in the distractions of stuff, right? And I see people all the time going, I'm doing all these amazing things. I'm like, cool, you're doing all these courses, but when you're working on your business, and I understand we need to be developed and we need coaches because, we are coaches. It's important to build your own, your skills and your understanding of your business. But if you spend your whole time over here playing, trying to find the next great thing, you miss the opportunities and the focus of your business. So there's this balance, right, of saying, is this course, is this coach, is this consultant going to help me move forward towards my goal and align me to my objectives? If the answer is yes, go for it 1000%. If you're like, well, and I was going to do this next week, there's a really great conference that I want to go to over in New Zealand, and I've been looking about it. I'd planned on going to it for the last couple of months. And then we actually took stock over the weekend, and I actually said, well, what we're trying to achieve this year, it would be great to be in the room, and I'd love to be in the room, but it's actually not going to help and doesn't align with what we're trying to do. All it does is make me visible, and it becomes that kind of showy thing that I don't want to be, which is about being on that kind of, hey, look at me, look at me. That's not what I'm about. I'm about creating real strategic impact for clients. And if it means I don't need to be in that room for next week, that's fine. I'll go next year. If at the moment, though, it doesn't align. And so sometimes you have to make decisions which feel uncomfortable, and you're like, oh, but what will I miss out? And you have FOMO about not being on TikTok or not being on this because what is everyone else doing? But you're not everyone else. Right? You're the unicorn who needs to align and focus on what they need to do. And that's where we get this last piece, which is having your goals align with that strategy, being really clear. What am I trying to achieve? Making sure that the goals are clear, specific, all those kind of cool metrics that say, okay, today I'm going to grow my business. Today I'm going to grow my team. My goal this year is to get strong enough and have sustained clients enough so we can actually put on another consultant. That's our goal for this year. I don't want to have to work 25 days a month traveling. It's too much on me. It's too much on my family. So my strategic goal for the business is to grow to a point where I'm comfortable and the business is secure enough that we can have a second consultant, full-time, employed, who I can then knowledge transfer, right? That's my goal. If it doesn't align to that, then we're not playing in that space. And so again, really clear, monomaniacally focused goals and strategies for your business helps you then grow.
I'm with you on all of that. I love it. And especially when you ended it with monomaniacally again. It's such a great word. But what about for those that don't want to grow? And particularly this year, things are a lot more challenging for households, for families, for people in general, for business owners. There's a lot going on with the economy. And so I think if your goal is actually just to survive or to stay afloat, or maybe your goal is to reduce costs and to come up with how you're going to do that. So just the same as for you, it's the growth that you want to do. And then, of course, how am I going to get there? So, yeah, I think just knowing what it is that you want is so important.
See, and if I was having that conversation, I know a couple of my clients have been doing that. So the conversations I've been having with this, the answer is not that you're trying to reduce costs. The answer is that you're trying to increase your profitability. So to increase your profitability of your business, so sustainability comes through profitability, and you increase your profitability by looking at your costs. So I think it's about reframing that, and particularly when everything is difficult and you're like, costs, like my home loan is, I think, 48% more than it was when I got the home loan 9 months ago. Like, we're literally paying, it's insane. And so we're constantly under pressure, but we're not looking at we're looking to say, how do we maintain our profitability? And by using that language, it changes your ideas in your approach to your business. Right? It's if I'm more profitable, I'm going to be able to do my payroll more easily. I'm going to be able to be in the business longer. And yeah, I might be leaner, but you know what? That's okay too. So if that means I have to get rid of 2 or 3 things, or I have to change this structure over here, or I have to put my prices up, God forbid, then that's what you need to do, because it's about profitability. And so I think at this point in time, it's such an important perspective to think, how are we showing up for our business, right? How are we feeling about our business? And then it goes back to point 1. What were you in business for? What is your why? What you do with your clients? What is your vision? And if your vision is this, then you sit down and go, okay, what does that look like for me today? And growth is such an awesome conversation though, because growth is not about revenue growth. Growth could be in your skills. Growth could be in your brand presence. Growth could be in your knowledge of the industry. Growth doesn't have to be revenue, and it doesn't have to be client base. There are so many other things that you can grow in your business that will ultimately improve your profitability without the pressure of having to deliver more or put your prices up or anything else. So Think about what growth means to you and redefine it for that. Don't think you have to follow the herd.
I utterly love that you've just done that reminder. Firstly, there's 2 bits there that were just perfect. Number 1 was about making sure that you reframe it or rephrase it. So it's you're just looking at it in a different way. So it's about profitability as opposed to scarcity. Really, yeah, totally, which is really, really important. And then that second piece is around growth. What does that mean for you? Is growth then earning more money or growing bigger or employing more people? Or is growth getting more visible online, or increasing your marketing? Or, there's so many different ways to grow.
And for me, putting on another, because I don't want to bring on, and I've had this conversation a lot with coaches and other people. I've got a client arm's length client that I've been working with, Pia, who was talking about how amazing their business is doing, and they have 12 staff. Now, their revenue is pretty good, but 12 staff, I'm like, how are you sustaining 12 employees with that revenue? And the comment made, and it was quite a flippant comment, she was on a panel, was that, I can't pay them what I want to just yet, but I'm really trying to build up to that. And I went, if you can't pay them what they're worth, then have less staff. Like, don't pay people unders because you want to have 12 staff. And if you're not able to manage your workshop or your work with high quality, high paid people, and instead you're looking at doing this kind of, I'm paying people unders and they know that because we don't have the revenues to sustain 12 people full time at the full rate. That doesn't actually align with my values. For example, who says, I want to make sure we're sustainable. As soon as I get a first person, my profit's going to drop. 100%, it's going to, because I'm not going to for me to be able to get another person and maintain my profitability, I'd have to add 30% to my business line probably now to maintain the profitability. That's not tenable in 1 year. It's unlikely in 1 year, right? So how do we do that? We say we know we're going to grow with staff and our profit will drop, but that's okay. Our revenue will go up, our profit will drop, and then over time, our revenue will continue to grow and our profit will be back. And we know that that's the cycle, and we're open to that and we're comfortable with that. Now, I know accountants listening to this will be going crazy. Other coaches will be like, that is ridiculous. But it's not. It's my business. So profit to me, it's reinvesting in the business anyway. So it's not that I'm paying our shareholders. I'm not worrying about that. I'm looking at sustained growth. And you have to have ups and downs, right? Particularly in a consulting space. So I think you're 100% right that when we're going through this period of time, looking at what we want to do to succeed, it's not just a point in time issue. It's going back and looking at your origin story. It's going back and considering, remember when you started from your basement or your garage or wherever you were working, even if you're still working there, and going, okay, it was hard then. Okay, we're just back to our origin. We're just going through it again, and it's okay because we're still aligned.
Beautifully said, Jenni. So beautifully said. I just want to add one bit in there, which is around that staff and all that kind of thing. And one of the issues, I think, is that I know in my business, I need to be raising my prices, but then it seems like a really hard time to be doing that because people are finding things a little more challenging at the moment. Well, not everybody, but, a lot of people. So, yeah, it's definitely interesting times. But I think if we can focus on growth, that doesn't necessarily mean, I'm having a whopper big profit this month or whatever. It's like, actually, let's get you more visible, or let's find different ways to grow. I think that's magic. So, Jenni, what about then if you sum up your 3 keys of being a successful entrepreneur?
I think they cascade down. That first piece is, number 1 is really defining your vision. It's the why, it's the purpose, it's all those wrapped in to say, really succinctly, what are you trying to do in this business? What's the vision of the business? What's your future state? So that's number 1. And then creating some key objectives of the business that are going to support the delivery of that vision. They need to match. So there's the vision, and then the key objectives you're trying to achieve in the business that align with that vision, and then making sure your business strategy, your goals then align with those. So we're cascading down, we're cascading across, so there's connection, and then it makes meaning in everything you do. And I think the key to this is if you have a clear vision, you have clear objectives that are aligned, and a strategy and goals that are also aligned together, then it makes every decision that you do, you understand every vision because it's connected to what you're trying to achieve. So every activity, every action that you do aligns together. And so you're always on the right path. It stops you pulling away. So the key is clarity and that clear vision and a cascading strategy that supports that vision.
Oh, yes, you sum it up so beautifully. I love that.
You're
love
very
it.
kind.
Well, Jenni, so good to chat with you always. And just what a wealth of information that you share, and that brain is incredible.
Very kind of you today.
So thank you, Jenni. Enjoy Huskisson. Did I say it right?
You did.
Huskisson. Enjoy Huskisson. And where are you off to next?
Bateman's Bay tomorrow, and then back home on Wednesday. But in the interim, how do people catch up with you before we catch up next week about how are we going to get in contact with Hello Media? Because some of those strategies, particularly around Threads, we just threw in a little bit about Threads at the start. Kylie is like such an early adopter on Threads. Hello Media is like 3,000 out of, I think I'm 340 million. So I think you're well ahead on Threads than most of us. How do we get in contact with you so we can learn a little bit more about some of those cool things that are happening at the moment?
Jump onto the website, hellomedia.team, and through that you can find all the socials. But really my favorite place for you to come and join us is in the Facebook group, hellomedia.team. And I'm sharing lots of new updates and things in there. What about you, Jenni? How can people get in touch?
At Elephant in the Room AU is the best way to find us. You can find us on Facebook and Insta with at Elephant in the Room AU, or our website, elephantintheroomau.com.
Magic. So, Jenni, I think next week should be a chat about Threads. So the how, the why, and the what. And should you be there on Threads?
I think it's a really good conversation because it is with so many different platforms and the conversations out now, understanding how Threads aligns with your business. And again, is it the place that you want to play and why you want to play on Threads? I think is a really great follow-up to today's conversation. So it has been such a fun conversation. Thank you for letting me share my 3 keys of entrepreneurship. It's kind of the stuff that I love to play in. And your reflections, I'm loving, and I'm hoping you're taking away that idea of a dream business. Everyone listening is about having days like today, like Kylie had, where you have clients who go, you've actually just given us the key to success in our business and everything is working. And having a business that you can create that impact, I think is where we both align so well together. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you too, Kylie. Thanks to everyone for tuning into Bite Size Business Life podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us on the channel so that you don't miss the details of our next conversation.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Jenni. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye. See you next week.